Recently, a sociology professor and gender studies program director for Northeastern University, a woman by the name of Susanna Danuta Walters, wrote a piece for the Washington Post titled, "Why Can't We Hate Men?" Linked. The title wasn't clickbait, nor was the article itself, for what Walters presented was her personal justification for class hatred. It is pure and unvarnished bigotry whose only saving grace is that it is anything but surprising. Feminism is, after all, a hate movement, so why shouldn't its proponents advocate what you would expect from a hateful ideology? As for me, at the very least, I will practice the integrity my audience expects and refrain from acting surprised or outraged. What I will do instead is what we often do in the discussion of men's issues. I'll reverse the sexes and see how her article holds under the weight of equal treatment. And I'll challenge the lies and see how they hold up to the weight of scrutiny. The only thing left that I have to say that if you don't understand parody, please go watch some kitten videos right now and leave the grown-ups alone. Let's begin. It's not that Susanna Walters' hateful article pushed me over the edge. My edge has been crossed for a long time, before Hannah Rosen, before Emma Sulkowicz, before femsplaining and radical feminists, before gloating about the end of men and feminist cabals and believe the woman mantras as a tool of war against men and the deadening banality of women's prerogative. Seen in this indisputably true context, it seems logical to hate women. I can't lie, I've always had a soft spot for ripping into feminism, for naming the problem in no uncertain terms. I've rankled at the please be nice protestations of wannabe MRAs and found the women are not the problem, the system is obfuscation too precious by half. But of course, the criticisms of this blanket condemnation of women, from soft-spined men who decry such glib universalism to even softer men who demand an intersectional perspective, are mostly on the mark. These critics rightly insist on an analysis of gynocentric power as institutional, not narrowly personal or individual or biologically based in female bodies. Growing movements to challenge a femininity built on domination and proxy violence and engage girls and women in men's activism are both gratifying and necessary. Please continue. But this recognition of the complexity of gynocentrism, how different it can be in different parts of the world, how racism shapes it, should not, must not, mean we forget some universal facts. Pretty much everywhere in the world, this is true. Women's lies about sexual and physical violence and the threat of that violence permeates our choices big and small. In addition, female lies about violence are not restricted to intimate partner attacks or sexual assault, but plagues us in the form of social terrorism, mobbing, and programs of disinformation. Women are underrepresented in higher wage jobs, local and federal government, business, educational leadership, etc., because of their choices, and frankly, because of their aptitudes and abilities. The resultant wage inequality continues to be mischaracterized as anti-female discrimination when it is not, and it permeates every economy and almost every industry. Women continue to disingenuously claim higher rates of unpaid labor in the home, e.g., childcare, elder care, care for disabled individuals, housework, and food provision, dismissing the fact that on average men continue to assume responsibility for financially supporting the homes women are complaining about having to clean, and for assuming all responsibility in the home for skilled or dangerous work, e.g. auto repairs, home repairs, yard work, heavy lifting, and the more immediate use as unpaid bodyguards should any existential threat arise. Women continue to lie about having less access to education even as fully 60% of college students are female and the presence of men continues to decline. Women have lower rates of property ownership, but disingenuously fail to acknowledge that so many of them reside on properties worked for and provided by men, because this culture expects men to do that for women and pressures them for the same. The list goes on. It varies by country, but these global realities of men's economic, political, social, and legal vulnerabilities are, well, real. Even as feminists manufacture narratives about inequities that have been radically minimized. For example, Iceland, a country that still openly discriminates against men. So in this moment, here in the land of legislated toxic femininity, is it really so illogical to hate women? For all the supposed power of men in the patriarchy, only a relatively few women have been called to task, and I've yet to see a mass wave of prosecutions or even serious recognition of wrongdoing. On the contrary, cries of "believe the woman" and the plotted destruction of celebrities and other high-profile men came quick on the heels of the emergence of a movement calling them out on it. But we're not supposed to hate them, and we don't need a fucking hashtag to be reminded of that. I love Donald Trump as much as the next man, but when they have gone low for all of human history, maybe it's time for us to go all red pill and anti-gynocentric on their collective butts. The world has little place for men's anger. Men are supposed to support, not condemn, offer succor, not dismissal, facts that women fraudulently seem to claim as true for themselves. We're supposed to feel more empathy for your fear of reporting a crime than we are for the falsely accused. We are told he for she and don't be that guy. But truly, if women were with us, if they were with anyone but themselves, wouldn't this all have ended a long time ago? If women were with us, wouldn't they reckon that one good way to end sexual bigotry by women would be to deny them the power to practice it in places like the Washington Post? So, women, if you really aren't all bigots and liars and would like us not to hate you for all the millennia of woe you have produced and benefited from, start with this. Lean out so we can actually just stand up without being beaten down. Pledge to vote for non-feminist only. Run for office and carry the weight that comes with it. These are your choices. Be in charge of something, anything. Step up and be the breadwinner so that men can stay home and imagine slights and grievances in their spare time. Step into the power. You've got this, girls. And please know that your crocodile tears won't be wiped away by us anymore. We have every right to hate you. You have done us wrong. Hashtag gynocentrism is cancer. It is long past time to play hard for Team Red Pill and win.